So I couldn't be happier to be standing in front of this beautiful D&L Transport logo at our current office. We've really made it. And this video, this office here, this beautiful logo is such a tribute to everything we've all done. Everybody in this room has been part of this journey, and it's been very special together and collectively to achieve what we've achieved. Let's take a little journey down memory lane. I want to show you a few things.
Being able to, leave my desk at the office and, work on the phone to be able to get home to see my kid off the bus is just really important to me.
First time meeting you, I actually said, I've got big plans for us and with D&L, and I want to grow. I want this to grow into something larger, continue working towards being bigger and being more impactful.
So very excited to take a trip down memory lane to honor the journey that all of us have made from the start to where we all are now. Some of you who don't know this spot may have seen it on Where in the World is D&L Overland Park Edition. We are in front of the original D&L Transport, downtown Overland Park, about 80th and Metcalf, second story, right above the pharmacy. This is where card tables, flip phones, and some ingenuity all came together to create D&L and the values that we stand for today that still live with us. So it's a great spot, and it's an honor to be standing right here looking at that spot that Jimmy and Eric and all those folks started here in downtown Overland Park.
Ryan Chabot.
Local guy.
He gave me Jim Langenbach's phone number.
Yeah.
And then one day I called Jim and said, hey, let's do it. Within 2 hours, I had email, Aljacks, Power Dat, everything I needed, rock and rolling. I started the next day, moved 10 loads on my first day.
Like I said, such an honor to come back to downtown Overland Park to see the original D&L Transport location. It's freezing out here today, so I see why Florida became an option. It's a little far to drive to Florida, so we're gonna get a couple pictures, maybe a video to show you where we landed. Now, I did not get to experience that part of D&L's journey, but we would not be where we are today without the experiences and opportunities we encountered in Punta Gorda.
We've built a lot of really good relationships with people within D&L, people that I genuinely consider friends, people like you. It's more than work. It's friendship, it's family, and that's really important to me.
Those cars you hear behind me, that's 435, major thoroughfare here in Overland Park. When D&L moved back to Overland Park, we settled right here at 6520 West 110th Street, Suite 201. There's no elevator, so we gotta take the stairs. Missy was right here. I was right in that window there. What a blast from the past, and what a great company that is in now 6520 Suite 201. From one great company to the next, what a good spot.
Working with D&L has been one of the best partnerships that we've entered into since the journey began. I mean, managing back office, cash flow, AP, AR, 100 different accessorials. I can't say enough good things.
All right, so we made it over to 10540 Marty Street, Suite 160. So we just saw the humble beginnings in the second time in Kansas. We really felt like we were moving on up. It was time to get a real office space. So we found this spot. For those of you who remember Bernie, Dr. Bernie Sullivan is still officing here. When we first came over to the Marty location, we had about half of this suite. After about 2 years, we blew it out and took almost the entire section of the floor. Okay, so here's a better look at what we did with the space. A very rarely used entrance. We always used the side door so I barely even recognized this here, but we had a great little couple of years here at Marty, and then we went over to 8101. Let's go check that out. We made it, 8101, the current home for D&L Transport. Let's go inside and see what's going on. We're so proud of this place and what we've made together, all of us. So let's come on in, Suite 110. So for those of you who haven't been here, or maybe it's been a little while since we moved into 8101, we've got our 10-year wall of fame. Really proud of what this shows and the commitment for a handful of folks to D&L. We love this. We're gonna have some new additions as part of this event tonight. A very special thanks before we start the night to Becky, Missy, Brent, and spouses. Tonight we're celebrating Eric and Jim, who rubbed a couple nickels together, as we say. I say that all the time, and I don't really know what it means, but I think this is what rubbing nickels together creates. There were others that were part of that very early journey. Jason Wheatley, who's not with us tonight, he's down on an island somewhere, probably having a great night. But Jason was a critical piece of this company, and where this company started and where it is now. Jason is an integral part of that story. So we do honor Jason tonight. And again, this is Jim and Eric, but I want to mention Becky's contribution. Becky was part of this company from the start. For those of you who don't know Becky, she is one of the smartest, just creative accountants that I've ever been around. So it's been such a pleasure to work with Becky. So lucky that that found Jim and Eric and was part of that journey. Matt Smith was part of their early journey. Matt's been obviously with us for a long time now and is like a big brother. So let's give it up for Matt. Smartest man I've ever met, greatest salesperson I've ever met, period. I didn't just make that up to make them feel good tonight. I have said that for years. I love you guys. Thank you so much.
And the fact that these two gentlemen took another chance to create D&L Transport after they had been in business previously, but then decided to give it another shot, it changed the entire trajectory of my life. And I owe pretty much everything to this gentleman and Eric, and I love you guys.
So Jim and I are delighted to be here for the 20th anniversary. And to see what has happened since it started and since we left, it's just been amazing. And you guys in here are just incredible. I don't know anything about freight brokerage business. Jim had all the knowledge, and then Brian picked it up and hired a bunch of great people. And if I learned one thing in business, it was just surround yourself with good people. Surround yourself with good people, and things are going to turn out. And there are good people in this room tonight, and I've heard it from Brian, I've heard it from Jim, I've heard it from Missy, I've heard it from Becky. And so thank you, and thank you for coming tonight to share with Jim and myself. It's really special. But I can say that had Jim and I been running the company today, things would be a little different. Brian is an amazing guy. Matter of fact, I didn't realize you gesticulated quite so much. Let me take you on a journey.
Yeah.
Now I gotta sit back down. But had we been doing things tonight, the nice bar we had outside would have had cash bar. And the chance of prizes and giveaways at the end of the evening, it wasn't going to happen. So Brian has a way of recognizing the contribution that everybody makes to the success of the organization, and he shares it, and he wants you to know that he appreciates that, and that's why things are run a little differently, and it's a good thing we got out of the way, Jim, and let it happen the way it's happened.
That's great. Thanks, Pop.
I've said it many a times that I was literally, before this company started, I was almost homeless. I remember being down and out and selling cars at Moley Toyota and standing against a wall, and Eric and Joanne came by to take me to lunch, and I was standing against a wall selling used cars with 4 or 5 kids 20 years old, and we had lunch, and later on Eric, out of the blue, when I was in a bad spot, said, you know, just sold my other company, and by God, let's give it a shot with D&L Transport. And the rest is history. I believe that Eric and I brought a lot to the table. I did have a business plan I liked, but let's be honest, and I'm very much to say this, that the success of D&L Transport pretty much is on Brian's shoulders, and thank you, Brian. Thank you.
In honor of Eric and Jim for our wall of fame, because that wall is going to keep growing. I mean, the foundation that Jim and Eric built, that wall, people want to stick around. So that wall is going to keep going. There will never be another 20 on that wall, and there will never be another Chiefs away jersey on that wall. So we're going to retire the 20 and we're going to retire the white jersey. So here to Jim and Eric. D&L family, 20 years. Thank you so much for making this journey so very special. All of us together have made this an outstanding company. And thank you, Jim. Thank you, Eric. So happy you could join us. Here's to another 20.